Lovely.
Hello, everybody. This is Boxing Bros UK. I'm a host, Chris. This is my co-host, Andrew, the Boxing Brain. Today, we're doing the first Riffin news of the new year, 2025. And Riffin news, if you haven't watched it before, this is where we talk about rumours, boxing news, potential fights, etc. And we just riff off each other and give our views and opinions on it. Okay, topic one, AJ versus Fury. So, like you said, we spoke off camera. Eddie Hearn's gassed about it. Turkey Al-Sheikh has been saying win, lose or draw for Fury and AJ. He wants them both to have this fight. He wants this fight desperately. But the only other thing is, I seen an interview with Fury, I think last week, saying he's never boxing again, spitting his dummy about losing still. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, as always with Fury and with these two names that come up, that they should have fought 5 years ago, shouldn't they? And then we had the whole, Wilder, I think, he took out one of those, what do you call those things, Chris, in boxing where, I can't remember, but anyway, Wilder ended up getting that trilogy fight instead, didn't they? When it was kind of almost a done deal that AJ was going to fight Fury. Fury contradicts himself all the time. 1 minute he's retiring. 1 minute, I was wondering, there we are. 1 minute he's retiring. The next minute it's, that fight's got to happen. Even if I saw some information said, even if we're 50, that'll sell out the Wembley Stadium. I think, look, whether it happens, I think it's kind of the only, for me, this is where I'm at with this. It's the only viable fight for them both next. AJ has a 2.0, didn't we, before the Dubois fight? This is the best AJ we've ever seen. Hey, I was a little bit on board with that. He was looking great.
So was I. I'm not going to lie, so was I.
But you look back and you kind of think Hellenius, Jermaine Franklin, Otto Wallin and Garner, you kind of think, okay, not the most competitive of fights, but he was looking good. So with Ben Davidson, Chris, and obviously got the problem I've got is with any, even if he spent another couple of years rebuilding back, the age is against him now. And I don't know. I think he's just got to get straight back in there. I think he's got to go for the Fury fight and just go for broke, and then maybe try and rematch. If he wins that, then rematch Dubois. Win, lose or draw that one, retire after.
Yeah.
For Fury, where else does he go? So I don't really, unless you've got any different opinions, I don't really see for both of them what other fight there is to make for them both now. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you, but the only thing is, so both Usyk's fights, were very, very close, Usyk won, but there were still competitive fights, Dubois fight was not competitive at all. So I just think it's not going to be a competitive fight, and I just think AJ should retire. And I think if he takes a Fury fight, it's just for a payday. Like, he's got issues. Like, AJ's turning into the new David Price. He's getting in the ring and he's bottling it. It's plain and simple. Yeah.
Good points.
I don't want to see that fight because I know that Fury is just going to absolutely destroy AJ. It's going to be a build-up. Everyone's going to buy into it, all the casuals. And then Fury's just going to roll over him because Fury's still got a lot left. Yeah, he hasn't got the legs he had against Vladimir Klitschko. It was fucking 12 years ago. Of course he's not going to. But I think Fury can easily beat Dubois. I think Fury's got enough left. What he's shown in the Usyk fights, that he can beat Dubois. that he can hold man Dubois. That he's just Usyk is just better than Fury, plain and simple. He's just a little bit better. He's got his number. He ain't gonna beat him. That. But I do think Fury can beat Dubois. He can be a 3-time world champion again, all that jazz. I just think he's got a lot left, and AJ has not got nothing left. And I don't want to see him fighting anymore because it's embarrassing, to be honest. Like, it's not embarrassing. Like, obviously, AJ's done a lot for boxing, for British boxing. At one point, he was a star. He brought eyes back. He's done a lot for British boxing. Like, back in the day, he didn't get the fights that he wanted when he was in his prime. Then obviously things happened with a reason and all that. And obviously now he's on the decline. And I just think he should just retire. And he doesn't need the money. AJ don't need the money. But it's just something in his head that he thinks he can do it. And then he gets in the ring and he bottles it. So I don't want to see that fight. I just think Fury's still got it. And AJ is not. So it's just it's a cherry pick and it's a bad fight for me. And I think Fury he can fight someone. He can go and fight. He can fight the winner of Zhang Gabriel and hope Usyk retires, and he can get the WBO. Because obviously, you know what's going to happen if it say, we'll get onto that with the heavyweight rankings anyway. We've got a whole analysis to do on that. But there's still loads of fights that Fury can win out there. That's winnable.
Yeah. And
to prove that he's still got it. And I just think AJ,
he made some good points there.
There's no really fights you want to see AJ in. And there's no fights I can see AJ where I think he can win. Like top contenders. Like your Zangs, your Caballels, Dubois rematch, Joseph Parker. Every fight with a top 10 opponent, I think, he could lose this. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you don't want to be in that. You don't want to turn into a joke. And it's not like Chisora where, Chisora don't get knocked out. Chisora's a warrior, and you might win on points, but he's still gonna have a good go, and he's still gonna stay on his feet. Do you know what I mean? He's still gonna have it. So he's a different kind of guy. You can't say about AJ, he's a tough guy. Even if you win, he's gonna push you to your limits. You can't say that about AJ. So I just think, I think they should retire.
I'll say on the back of you said some articulately put there. Actually, said some good things. I think, I agree with it. I think the Fury definitely does have a lot left, and sometimes, like you say, there is just that guy out there in any sport, in any discipline, that is just better than you, and Usyk is that guy. This generation, unless age catches up with him and he fights too long and he fights someone when he's too old and loses that way, which can happen, is just in terms of talent. And I think this fight needs to happen now, though, because if Fury AJ doesn't happen now, I don't think it ever should happen. This is the last opportunity for me for it to happen. And then I agree with you. I think Fury takes AJ apart in the late rounds, and then Fury can go fight someone in the top 10, maybe become a three-time champion, as you say. But just in terms of what they're doing next, I think it's the fight that needs to happen. So, sorry if there was any technical difficulties there. There always seems to be some we're still working out. So I think ultimately that fight, if those two are going to match up, it needs to happen now, because if it happens any longer, it's not going to happen. But Fury's definitely got more legs if he wants to. I agree with that. AJ, I just want to finish because I know we want to cover a few topics. I've seen Chris. He's just not the same fighter. Ever since he got beat up by the little Mexican, since then he's just not been the same guy. He doesn't ride a shot. He's never been brilliant at absorbing a shot, but he just looks absolutely scared to death in there against a puncher. And I think that's only going to be exacerbated more, Chris, after the Dubois defeat, because it was so one-sided. It was such a one-sided beatdown, and I kind of hate myself so, but it is the reality of it that I just don't know what's left there anymore for AJ, because psychologically, physically, he's still there. You know, he's a we know what an athlete is. That isn't in question. But mentally and his punch resistance, Chris, it's just not there, mate, is it? And as you get older, that punch resistance is only going to get worse. We know that. So I'm afraid I have to kind of agree.
Actually, something just popped to my head. I'll tell you a good fight for AJ, yeah? Dylan White. Him and Dylan White should fight. That would be a good fight for AJ. Yeah. I'd like to watch that because I think that's competitive. Because Dylan White's punch resistance is shot to shit. He looks like shit every fight he has. That fight, I would watch. And that fight, I'll be glad to watch it because I feel like it's fair, competitive 50-50 fight. I think if he fights Fury's going to knock him out the same way Dubois did in like 3-4 rounds.
I think that the thing is, I think for AJ, he says the right things. And I'll give him respect. Yeah, he's never ducked nobody. He's been in there with everybody's had the opportunity of fighting and dared to be great. And he has been. He probably, you know, in many people's eyes at one stage was great when he was a unified champion. But I think he's willing. He says the right things. But I think what's happening is when he's getting in that ring now, there's a disconnect, isn't there? There's just something. Yeah. He's unable to commit the main anxiety, yeah. So ultimately, it's probably looking like it's going to be the fight next for him. But I mean, who knows? You know what it's like, Chris. I mean, I don't know. Eddie Hearn seems to be getting excited about the fact it's going to happen, and some sources are saying it's almost signed. So we'll see.
Well, we shall see. But for me, AJ should fight Dylan White next because that will be a fair fight. Fury will roll through him 3-4 rounds. Done. But next topic. What the hell is going on with Bakole Vs Ajagba and Martin Bakole? Like this, if anyone in the comment section can shed light on this, because are they trying to fuck him over again? Because why isn't this fight been signed yet? What the fuck is going on? It's a final eliminator. I thought a final eliminator, you've got so many days to sign the fight, and if not, there's another purse bid. That's what I thought. Or they get another opponent. You know what I mean?
And inexplicably, I know we're coming on to this in the rankings on the next topic, but fucking Sanchez is gone. I'm sure Sanchez has just gone above him in the IBF rankings. I'm not sure what all that's about. Do you know what? I always had a feeling with this fight. I remember when we covered this, when it was announced, we did a video.
Yeah.
I remember saying to you that I just got a feeling. I don't know much about Ajagba and his character, his personality. Obviously, I've seen his fights. And I just feel like he just wouldn't fancy that fight. A lot of people don't fancy the Bakole fight. He, as we've always said, is high risk, low reward. You know, he's a 6'6", 20-stone wrecking ball. You know, he's a good fighter, powerful fighter. Not a lot of people are gonna. He's not a cherry pick, that's for sure. Jared Anderson found that out the hard way, and Jared Anderson's a talented guy that could hopefully come again. It's been from it was meant to be on the February card, wasn't it, Chris? My understanding was it was meant to be going to be put onto the February card, which would have been just added to an already incredible card. And that's been taken off there now, and it's been pushed back to the middle of the year. Why has it been pushed back? Like what? Why is this potentially not happening till April, May, June? What's going on? Why is it taking so long to get this over the line? Like, I don't really understand what's going on.
There's been a lot from what I've seen. These are the facts that I can see, and then I've got my theories, but they're just theories. But like first of all, there's a lot of boxing politics going on. There's a purse bid, originally Bakole, Caballero purse bid, Caballero does not show up to the purse bid pulls, and he doesn't even tell them that he's not going. He doesn't even tell them he's pulling out. Just doesn't show up. And then after the purse bid doesn't happen, then he says, "No, I'm not taking this fight. I've got another fight arranged." Yeah. So he fucked himself. Yeah. So then Zhang's supposed to be fighting him. Yeah. They're in negotiations.
Yeah.
Then sorry. Yeah. Cold. Then Zhang pulls out of his negotiations, and Caballero and Zhang are fighting each other. So Caballero, his promoter, works closely with Frank Warren. Zhang is a Frank Warren fighter. Bakole is a Ben Shalom fighter, and they don't like Ben Shalom, and that's why I think Ben Shalom's come off the February card, because Frank Warren don't like him, I think. So he's just like, Frank Warren's flexing his muscles a bit like, "Listen, boy, you're not coming on my fucking show. You disrespect me, whatever." So he's had him taken off, and now he's messing him around. And F.A. Ajagba, he's what's that old guy now? Bob Arum. He's a Bob Arum fighter.
Top rank.
Yeah. Top rank. Who's top rank work with in the UK? Frank Warren. Yeah, that's their main guys that they work with. He hates Eddie Hearn. He always works with Frank Warren. Yeah. I don't understand what the problem is just to get this fight signed. Yeah.
Oh.
So they put him.
It's got to be that. Your theory is. Yeah. What else could it be other than your theory, right? Because I was thinking that I can't think what else other than behind closed doors. Ajagba's fucking scared to death. Oh no!
You're either going to say you want the fight and sign it, or there's a problem in the contract that I don't know. He wants to walk in first, or the gloves, or there's a problem in the contract. But we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But since this fight's been announced, it's taking forever to sign it. Do you know what I mean? It's taking forever. And I don't.
Yeah.
Like, what's the
go on, mate.
What's the countdown? Like, if Ajagba doesn't sign this fight, how long has he got to sign it before there's another purse bid and they pick another opponent?
But it won't be long, right? Because I'm looking at the IBF rankings now, right? You've got Frank Sanchez at number 4. I'm not sure since he's lost to Caballero. I don't know how he's still at number 4 in the IBF, but there we go. Well, you've got Ajagba at 5, so which is obviously why they've, he's been given that eliminator.
There you go.
You've got AJ at 6. Do you know what? I could end up seeing him fighting a Hrgovic or a Derek Chisora, and it'll just be like what. It'll be someone like fucking Chisora if Hrgovic don't want it. Who's because Del Boy's number 8 in the IBF, Chris.
This is the thing, yeah. Right. Wilder's retired. He's retired. He's officially retired.
I saw a post today, Chris. I was going to get on your confirmation. It was at IFL TV posted that. Oh, he's gone. There he is. In fact, I saw a post on IFL TV that Wilder's retired. So is that confirmed? Because I haven't had a chance to look more into it. Has he confirmed his retirement?
100%. 100%. He's retired, and I think he's like the 3rd or 4th longest reigning heavyweight champion in history as well.
If people forget that, actually, yeah, wasn't it about 10 years? 10, 11 years, wasn't it?
Like and it's the title defenses. I think the number 1's Joe Louis, and then I think it's Vladimir Klitschko, and then I think it's Wilder. I swear to God, and you won't think it, like consecutive title defenses.
We can work this out. When he won the title against Bumain Stavern, I call him Bumain Stavern. Yeah. When was that? That was about 2015. Was it 16?
2016, I think it was.
And then he lost the WBC belt in the second fight to Fury in, what was that, 2022, was it? 21? So about 5 years.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So, but he has longest reigning, but what counts is how many consecutive title defenses did you make? You know what? I think I might do a little homage to him and put it in the community just to show that he's how many defenses compared to the other greats.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could argue that the CV of his defences weren't great, but still.
Yeah, but still,
fair play to him.
Like Larry Holmes was a long reigning champion, but his CV wasn't that great. Everyone he fought was past their best. Like Ali, the names on his resume were all finished. Ali, Ken Norton, the other guy who hits really hard, I can't remember his name.
Ernie Shavers.
Yeah, they were all at the end of their careers when he beat them. But that's all that was there for him to beat. Do you know what I mean? And he still held the title.
But yeah,
and he still
that.
He didn't duck no smoke. So it's just one of them.
Put him above Usyk, and people still put him above Usyk in the all-time great list, and it's like I'm not too sure. I'm not so sure about that.
No, I'm not so sure. You have got to take into account fighters. Like obviously, Larry Holmes didn't have a very strong era, so the people he fought were past their prime a bit. He's fought a Fury basically ready to go. AJ, it weren't at his best, but near enough. Do you know what I mean? He won his reasonable match. He dismantled a quite young Pulev. He was, do you know, you can't fault him really. A young, hungry Dubois. That's why I would really love for Usyk to fight Dubois next, just to really cement the legacy, just to cement it and beat him comfortably. Or even if you don't beat him comfortably, Dubois is better and he beats him in a close fight, just to beat him, just to say, listen, I beat the guy who's in his prime, the young lion. I've beat him now, he's a young champ. So now no one can say anything. They've got to have him up there.
Only one more fight he needs, and I'll lead this into our last segment because I know we want to talk about Jai Opatia quickly before we round up this afternoon. For me, Usyk, potentially, there's only 2 fights out there, and I'm kind of doing this cheekily because we're about to talk about him. Dubois, or go down to cruiserweight and give Jai Opatia a bit of a pasting. What about that?
Yeah. Well, for me, I rate Jai Opatia. I do think he's the best out there, but I'm sick of this now. Like, what's going on, Eddie Hearn? Like, why the fuck ain't he getting the fights? He's fighting another, like, B-level fighter. Like, you know, like the 2 guys he knocked out who were from Britain. He's fighting that level of fighter, but from Australia.
David Naika. No, I think it's David Naika. Yeah, on the Gold Coast, isn't it?
A unified. When is he going to unify with someone?
The thing is, Chris,
I don't want to do these fights anymore.
I'm just talking as a fan right now in response to what you're saying, and not a media personality, I suppose you'd call us now. Yeah. So I'm just putting my fan head on. Why could we not have got a situation? Ramirez is all right. He didn't fight CBS that long ago, but why couldn't we have got the money together in boxing, Turkey Al-Sheikh, get them on the February card and get a unification fight with Ramirez on that card? Why couldn't that have happened? We got all the other fights. Who cares about this fight coming up against David? No disrespect. I also wonder whether Eddie Hearn's petrified of another one of his A-side fighters like losing because he's had such a bad run of form with fighters, Eddie Hearn. Of his stable constantly losing and being exposed, Johnny Fisher. I don't know whether that's got anything to do with just a theory for you to ponder.
The problem is, Ramirez, I think he's a golden boy fighter. So that fight's going to be hard to make, to be honest. But what about other cruiserweight champions? What about the other ones? Why can't he fight one of them? I'm sick of seeing Jai Opatia. And you know what's going to happen to him? Steel sharpens steel, yeah? If he keeps having these gimme fights, when he gets his final unification, it's going to be hard work for him because he's not in tough fights. And the cruiserweight division isn't very strong at the moment, so he needs the unifications. And he doesn't want to move up to heavyweight until he unifies, at least.
Because the thing is, the Jack Massey fight, the you know, the Breedis fight where there were two quite close fights actually against Breedis. It was a top cruiserweight Breedis, but it was an aging cruiserweight who not long retired after. I kind of tend to agree. He's got fast hands. He's skillful. He's powerful. The cruiserweight division's not a very good division at the moment. Outside of Ramirez, CBS I don't think's got a great deal left. Unless anyone moves up from light heavyweight, it's not a great division at the moment. Not wildly competitive, and you do worry, don't you, with Opatia, where he might start to be a little bit rusty if he's not careful. Oh, you're still there. You're frozen.
Hey, you there?
Oh yeah. Oh, there. Oh, you froze and then disappeared.
Okay. Yeah. Did it pause it? No, it didn't pause. Anyway, I'll edit that bit out of it. But yeah, you're basically he will start. He won't get any better if he keeps taking these gimme fights, like you say. And he really he needs to have a proper fight with someone competitive. Like the last fight he had competitive was Breedis, and any other fight he's had since then has just been a gimme fight. And I just worry for him because, like you say, he's the best fighter in the division, I believe. But steel sharpens steel, and he's not getting the right fights. Come on, Eddie. Come on, Eddie. Sort it out, mate.
They got to find a way. I know the Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy promotions is a sticking point, Chris, but they got to find a way of matching up because in that division, Opatia and Ramirez is the best fight by far in that division. I'm just going to finish with one thing on this because I know we're wrapping up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
I know trying to get the promotion companies together, Golden Boy Promotions, is going to be difficult. But by far and away in that division, the best fight by a country mile is Ramirez Opatia. It needs to be
100%.
made. It needs to be 100%.
Made. That's the fight that everyone wants to see. And if not, the other cruiserweights.
Love it.
Opatia have to fight one of them. But Ramirez Opatia is the one we want to see. That's it from us. Boxing Bros UK.
Like and
subscribe. Like and subscribe. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.